Greetings, I'm Valerie Lopez, and welcome to my Health 698 Practicum presentation for the Master of Public Health program at Liberty University. Before I begin, I would like to thank my instructor, Dr. Colleen Law, and Liberty University for allowing me to pursue my graduate degree with the concentration in health promotion. Let's begin. I completed my practicum experience in Memphis, Tennessee with Pink with a Purpose. This is a newly formed 501c3 nonprofit organization that focuses on research for cancer prevention, financial literacy, and treatment specifically in diet and nutrition in order to combat the cancer crisis in Memphis, Tennessee. My preceptor was April Hubbard. She founded this organization to honor survivors of all types of cancer, and on a personal note, she does have experience with battling cancer among several of her family members. Next slide, please. The objectives of this organization are sixfold. Number one is to focus greater attention on research for cancer prevention and treatment, specifically in the areas of diet and nutrition. Number two is to educate at-risk populations about cancer and the related disparities, specifically around nutrition and financial literacy. Number three is to promote early detection among men and minority groups. Number four is to connect residents who live in low-income and low-access areas to the proper cancer screening and treatment resources. Number five is to promote physical, social, and emotional well-being through community-based events. And lastly, number six is to promote healthy lifestyle changes. Next slide, please. Cancer is the second leading cause of death in the United States. As we all know, cancer is a malignant growth or tumor that results from the division of abnormal cells. With no limitations as to where cancer or abnormal cells can grow in one's body, researchers have discovered over 100 types of cancer. In 2016, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that the rate of reported cancer cases in Tennessee was 459.4 per 100,000 people, which is among one of the highest invasive cancer rates and cancer death rates compared to other states. This brings me to my program goals and objectives. I had two objectives with my practicum experience. Number one, I wanted to increase awareness of the various forms of cancer, such as breast, lung, prostate, and cervical cancer through culturally and linguistically appropriate education and outreach for minority dense populations in Memphis, Tennessee by August 31st of 2017. My second objective, it was to serve as an educator by teaching healthy lifestyle choices that can lower the risk of cancer or having cancer come back after it has been treated, as measured by seminars, wellness fairs, and social media. Next slide, please. Some of my activities and accomplishments with Pink with a Purpose included the Pink with a Purpose Wellness event and Pink with a Purpose Cancer Awareness event. Even though these events were to take place well after my practicum experience ended, the first one, the Pink with a Purpose Wellness event, was to take place on September 30th of 2017, and the last event, Pink with a Purpose Cancer Awareness event, was to take place on October 14th of 2017. So my job, and I was tasked with many things regarding these two events, but the main things were to establish the venues for these events. Both of the venues that I selected were basically prominent areas or prominent venues located in Memphis, Tennessee. The first event will take place in the Orange Mound Community Center, which is a predominantly black populated area of Memphis, Tennessee. The second venue would be the Racquet Club of Memphis. Both of these events, I created informational brochures that detail the mission, the vision, and the purpose of Pink with a Purpose. I also created a health survey for participants to fill out before they departed these events. I also created a contact list of support organizations and services to be passed out to participants or attendees for the events. As like I said before, this is an event, or this is an organization that honors cancer survivors and also people that are currently battling cancer. So most of these people don't know of community resources that are located in Tennessee or in Memphis, Tennessee, that are designed to help them with their finances, understanding financial literacy, and how it can impact you once you get a cancer diagnosis. So a lot of these things do exist in Memphis, Tennessee, but they're rarely known throughout community members. So my job was to compile a list of those resources and get those out to community members. The first event, the Pink with a Purpose Wellness Festival, that was to occur from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the second event is to occur from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. So, and something that I learned during this whole process of organizing events on a major scale is that it's essential to organize and garner the support of other entities. That means other grassroots community organizations that are doing the same thing as you, or other educational organizations that might need support and that might need some exposure. Pink with a Purpose is fairly new. They were formed in 2011, but they do not have the support of the community because people don't know that they exist yet. But they do have a strong basis with other organizations because the founder is well known and well liked throughout the Memphis community. Some other things that I did, in addition to securing the venues and determining the dates and times and gaining the support of others, I was also tasked with contacting possible vendors to offer their services at both of the festivals. These vendors included hospital representatives, the City of Memphis and Shelby County Health Department employees, insurance representatives, also the Mayor Jim Strickland and Congressman Steve Cohen, and also bank representatives to come and talk about financial literacy. In addition to that, I also took on the responsibility of coordinating and implementing a community cancer education program for community members to attend. This class occurred every other Saturday, all the way up until August the 19th, and this was held at the Pink with a Purpose office space from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The educational materials that I used to teach the class were from the American Cancer Society and the National Institutes of Health curriculum series, which is the cancer packet. This cancer packet, it is suitable for K through 12 education. It also contains 5 student activities, background and implementation material, a downloadable computer program which included video clips and animations, a glossary, and a reference. I found it suitable to teach the class. The class ages, they range from ages 18 to 68, I believe, was the oldest individual that attended my course. With that being said, I didn't teach the class alone. I recruited the help of different specialists, researchers, oncology doctors, RD board certified specialists in oncology from the Campbell Clinic and the University of Tennessee Health Science Center. They helped me to conduct the teaching sessions that were pertinent to their area of profession and community experience to family, friends, and caregivers of those diagnosed with the cancer, and also caregivers of those that have been diagnosed, and lastly to cancer patients and survivors. Next slide, please. Some of my practicum successes and limitations included, for successes, I believe that the most successful was garnering the support of different organizations throughout the community. Like I said, my preceptor April, she was very well liked. She knows a lot of people throughout the community, so it wasn't hard reaching out to different vendors and finding out who would like to participate, because there were several people that wanted to help. These organizations included the Shelby County Health Department. It also included Birthright, which is an organization that helps young mothers, assist them with supporting having children at a young age. Also organizations such as different banks that wanted to come help out with the financial literacy piece of Pink with a Purpose, their education, their goal. Another success was my community cancer education program. My goal was to reach 15 community members, and we well exceeded that and reached 28 community members. And we also conducted a pre-test and a post-test. This pre-test had different questions, such as the main questions that I focused on were: how much do you know about cancer, its impact in treatment? And on the pre-test, the majority of the class, which on the first week of class, there were 15 people, no one knew about cancer. And there was only one person that felt that she or he was very knowledgeable about cancer. By the end of my last class on August 19th, on that post-test, over half of the course knew enough about cancer to carry on the conversation, and that was also included in my post-test question. Another success that I noted was strong participation in the community cancer education program. Attendance, it started off with just 15 individuals, and then by the end of the class, I had almost 30 attendees. So as the weeks went on, it just, by word of mouth, I guess, people were talking about the class and they were pleased with the way that I was presenting the material. So they were telling people to please come by, and I really appreciated that. I love the fact that the class grew and it increased as the weeks went by, and we did this class for 10 weeks. Some of my limitations with my experience were that this is, like I said, this is a newly formed organization. It's been here since 2011, but it has very little community support base. She has organizational support base, but a lot of the community members did not know that Pink with a Purpose existed. Secondly, some of the primary events, like the wellness event and the cancer awareness event, they took place well after my practicum end date. Next slide, please. Some of my recommendations for Pink with a Purpose, I would say, is to have a stronger presence on social media. April she is an older individual. She has a Facebook, but she also has a Facebook for Pink with a Purpose, but she rarely updates that page, and I took on that task and that responsibility as well, to have a stronger presence on social media like Twitter, to create an Instagram, to create a Twitter account, because that's mainly where we're getting all of your support, your community support. A lot of people are not using Facebook as they used to anymore, except to do live videos. So Instagram and Twitter would serve as a good backup for garnering the support of community members and actually getting your name out there to community. Secondly, partnerships with other grassroots organizations that are also dedicated to the same mission as Pink with a Purpose. A lot of the organizations that we were calling, or that I called to get vendor support, were organizations that didn't have much to do with cancer. They were banks, they were the Shelby County Health Department, maybe the maternity section, the maternity department, or the community health department, Birthright, the Memphis Fire Department. So a lot of these organizations were not directly related to the mission of Pink with a Purpose, and it serves as a strong indicator to the community when you have other organizations that are dedicated to doing the same work that you do. Thirdly and last, I would say that there's an increased need for creativity regarding donor dollars. Like I said, this is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and she does rely on donor dollars. as well as her own funds to support Pink with a Purpose. But since the community is rarely knows who she is, and rarely knows what Pink with a Purpose does, it is very hard to garner or to get that support and gaining donor dollars. And especially when you have other major organizations such as St. Jude Children's Research Hospital that also resides in Memphis, Tennessee. They have a very strong support base. When you're competing for donor dollars, such as with larger organizations like this one, it does require a little bit more creativity in how you raise your funds. Different websites that you can go to, and these are some things that I'm actually working with her right now on, and working on getting grants to support her organization in the absence of getting dollars from community members. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate the opportunity, and God bless.